Oh boy, hey guys. Crazy day. Crazy day. I mean, yeah. Something that I probably shouldn't have done, but I talked about it in my last video. But I just got back. I had been wandering around the area. I went to the mall, as you guys see, and just hung out and stuff. But I was able to just like try on different outfits and stuff. It's been a long time, you know, it's been a while. So now I'm getting in. There's really not much to eat, you know, so I haven't really had any food. So I think I'm just gonna snack on a banana, a banana, and some tangerines, maybe, or those cuties. I was gonna make a potato, um, I don't know, maybe a peanut butter sandwich. It's all kind of makeshift right now. I don't have a kitchen. If I had a kitchen, I mean, I do have a kitchen, but that means I have to go downstairs and use the kitchen, and you know, it's just not. It's just not in my favorite thing to do right now. But I'm gonna grab. I have some. I have some garbage bags that I can use to store all my garbage. Okay. I took the bus out there and then it dropped me off and my phone died. So I had no GPS. So I used my navigational sense and basically found my way back to Paula's place. I think I'm going to put some peanut butter on this because, you know, peanut butter is a good thing. And I just, you know, simply dip my peanut butter. I use a peanut butter by Aldi. It's called Simply Nature peanut butter. Organic. So it doesn't have any oil. It says it's organic peanuts and sea salt. Contains Oh, it contains peanuts. Can you believe that it says that? It says it says contains peanuts. Duh. Peanut butter. Does it not? Would it not contain peanuts? Peanut butter? You would think, right? Because peanut butter is just that. I think I'm going to use a spoon. Where's my trusty plastic spoon? I've been just using plastic lately. Where'd it go? I makeshift put it. Oh no! See, I like totally. Whoa! Don't fall! Oh my gosh! Duh! 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 So like out of it. That looks kind of bright. I'm like literally leaning it on a shelf of the what is it, the chest of drawers. You know, I pulled one of the shelves out and I used it as a makeshift something or other. I really don't know where my spoon went. Where did it go? Oh, there's carrots here. Ah, I love carrots. So I'm gonna have carrots. Where's that spoon? Oh wow. Spoon is not around. So I just like dip my banana into my peanut butter. Maybe I'll use this this knife. I bought this knife at Walmart when I was in what was it? When I was in El Paso, and it came with a little cutting board. I'd always wanted to get a ceramic knife, and we never did. Mark and I initially we had one when we lived in the villa, or when we lived in the RV, but we don't want to get bit by it. I mean, get cut by it. It's pretty sharp, but that's good. You do what you gotta do. Sometimes you just, I don't have a fridge in here. I'm just kind of going off of my own instinctual wants, and right now I'm kind of living off of bananas. Bananas are good. There's a website out there, a guy named Durian Ryder, they call him, because he likes durian, and it's about eating 30 bananas a day, and some people eat that and just that, and they survive and thrive, actually, because what your body's doing is basically you're monomuling. So that means that you're basically eating one thing, a banana, as your meal. And for digestion purposes, eating one particular fruit, say, for instance, a banana, it just makes you able to digest faster and stuff like that, because you don't have to, your body doesn't get confused with, like, put a burger in there and then you put like onion rings in there and then you put some apple pie in there and then pizza, and it's like the body's like, oh, what are you doing? But it's all good. Yeah, it's all good because I'm like hungry hippo. Last thing I had was a PB and B sandwich, a peanut butter and banana squashed sandwich, and I cooked it in my little skillet, toasted the bread, and ate it. It was good. I just didn't want a whole lot of hassle, because again, I don't have a kitchen, so you make do. You just make do, what else can you do? Paula made some chow mein last week, and it looked good. I mean, she puts a lot of um, care into it. I guess she used to be a short order cook, so she knows how to cook. And Tiffany also worked in the restaurant industry. They both know how to make food, and I guess I just missed out on some burgers, I guess, or something. Um, some Paula's special barbecue burgers, or what, or what? See, it's not a whole lot of food, but like a banana, um, a baked potato, say, would fill you up without having to go into like eating all these snacky foods like crackers and, oh, there's some crackers in here. Some crackers. There's some tortillas, some rice cakes. There's some rice, but I'm not gonna cook. I think I'm just gonna have a carrot. sometimes I'll eat the carrot with the peanut butter, you know, because it dips easily in there, and it's good. Good morning, Rabinski. Hi. You're in Australia, right? It's evening here, obviously. We used to watch Mark and I do our show. Yep, it's actually lunchtime here. Wow, lunchtime. Vegan E. Good evening. Yes, agree. Baked potato does fill you up, and so does beans. Yeah, all these little carb loaded type foods, starches, they'll like fill you up. Yeah, I used to watch, but got bored. You know, that's the thing about that show. I'm telling you. Mark liked to do it, and I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't. You know, I was like, what's the big deal with like sitting at a table with the computers and reading articles from the internet? I mean, it's really, I mean, you guys could do that on your own. You don't need two people doing that for you. I mean, it's like, and then some of those articles, well, it's like really, really long. Yeah, it was uptight. It was like an energy that was like kind of like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I never did. And I used to call it Mark's show because he's like, but we call it Real Talk with the Cummings. I'm like, yeah, well, Real Talk with Mark Angelo Cummings and Lena just sitting there because she doesn't like it. But I went along with it. You know, I mean, I was his wife, so. But eventually, I just got so tired of it that I just stopped. I just stopped. And that's not dissing Mark or anything because he like used to do this really cool show on Gay Life Television, and it had all these segments in it. It was sponsored. It had really cool, you know, stuff going on with it. And then my accident happened, and then I don't know what happened, but we mistakenly thought that we could do a better show or a show without Gay Life. And that's what we did. We changed the name of the show from Transition Radio, which was a better name, to like Real Talk with the Cummings. And it just wasn't, it wasn't interesting to me. I don't know. Mark's like, you can add a article if you want to, you know, and you can research it for yourself. And I'm like, no, and I really don't want to. But this is Lena's life. Lena's life is way different. Lena's life is like, you know, it's always been spontaneous. It's always been off the cuff. It's always been just whatever. Right now, it's Lena eating a carrot. Oh my gosh, I'm using the third person. It's Lena eating a carrot. Or me eating a carrot. With peanut butter. Remember? Peanut butter? So anyway, I had time to think about the escapade this afternoon. I was interested to hear about the Priskers, but always enjoy your videos here best. Priskers? What's Priskers? Can you explain what Priskers are? She wanted to. Oh God! I was just trying to. Oh, rotate. Sorry. This is all beginner's luck here. Maybe I can go a little higher because it's bothering me so low. Yeah. Is that better? Better or worse? Transition billionaires. Oh, transition billionaires. Really? You're making me laugh? I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can move over. There we go. It's a little better. So you guys, it's hilarious because imagine a chest of drawers, right? And there's five drawers. While the top one is closed, the next one down is open, and I stuck my iPad on it because I used to have stuff for it, but I left everything in Silver City. My keyboard again, it's gone. I'm so pretty. Oh, did it fall? Don't fall. My dad used to say, "Don't fall." Oh. And then if it's not level, it just bothers me. It'll do. So anyway, I had time to think about the stunt that I basically pulled. So I'm just okay. I'm just gonna explain to you guys what happened in better detail. I'm just walking because my bus basically it made a connection with another bus at White Bear Lake Boulevard or Avenue or Street or Place or something. So I'm there, right? I get off the bus, I cross the street. There's a bus stop there, and I check my phone. Oh wait, I need to charge it because it is deader than a doorknob. Deader than a doorknob in December. So I got this outlet here where I can charge my phone. Yeah. I think in the future I am going to go back to an iPhone because this thing just runs out of battery automatically really fast. So, um, I think I'm going to stay with Metro PCS, but I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I may stay with it though. It's a good carrier. They have a lot of good coverage and stuff. But anyway, I'm crossing the street and I'm thinking, I don't really want to stick around and just sit here, wait for the bus. I got there, it was like 1:25. So I said, I'll just walk down the street, you know, and then just go along the bus path by the time, look around. Because I always like to look, at stuff, right? I'm always like visual, look around, what stores, you know. So I'm looking at stuff. And then 10, 15 minutes down the road, I decide to slow down. I slow down. I decide to just, stop and go to the next bus stop. Well, lo and behold, this black guy in a Mercedes SUV black pulls off the side on the curb and he says, "Hello, miss. How are you today?" And I'm like, I'm doing good." And he's like, "You mind if I talk to you?" And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just walking to the bus, you know. And then he like goes, "Okay, I'm just gonna pull over here." So he pulls over, gets out of his car, walks over to me, goes, "Hey, baby, how are you?" Right? And I'm like, doing good. But I've already told you that story. There's a reason there's a lot of deaths in the trans community. And Transgender Day of Remembrance has those types of things happen. Well, I was stupid. I don't know if it's just the emotions of the day or what, but I was just I was just flat out irresponsibly dumb, you know, because that's how we get killed, you know. That's how we get killed because we do stupid stuff. I mean, I was in his car. I was sitting there, and we're driving down the street, and he's like being indecent next to me. And I don't know, maybe he thought I was a prostitute. And he was driving a Mercedes SUV, so he was probably a pimp. So I'm like, this was not a good idea. Not a good idea. Not in the least. I mean, I don't want to make money like that. That's not me. And he's like, you know, he thought that I may want that and stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't. But I'm just like, so perturbed. Perturbed. Because I let my guard down and I gave myself way too much leeway. Um, way too much, way too much freedom at that point. And, that was just dumb. So I don't plan on doing that again. And I don't recommend that any of you do it. It was just not safe. What if he would have driven me to some back alley somewhere? Or I had to like force myself, or he forced me to do something that I didn't want to do, or he put me in some kind of prison or something. I don't know. It was just dumb. How to escape. Women learn as children not to do that. Yeah, I know. But see, nobody taught trans women how not to do that. You know, we're dumb. We're dumb because we're like little girls, little teens. We go through situations. It's a learning curve. It is. It's a learning curve, but sometimes you don't want to learn at the expense of death, right? Because that's what probably could have happened. Death could have happened. But I'm glad I'm safe. I'm glad that he let me out. He didn't seem to be a mean guy. He just wanted some action and thought that I was going to be willing to give it to him. Or maybe he was testing me to see how good I was so he could hire me. Regardless, it's not my line of work. True, but girls do get killed, as you know. Luckily, you got away. I know. He let me out. He was nice. Um, it was the middle of the day, but some guys are just such pigs. It's like, I really don't know what the big deal is about sex anyway. I've been asked by a pimp Yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't know. It was I was just it's warm, so I was just wearing this outfit with my jean jacket on. So I wasn't bearing anything up top. But this is my, my outfit. It's just a all-in-one, and I was just walking down the street. You know, I guess I'm pretty leggy, so I don't know. It just there's lots of I don't knows right now because I'm just like crazy, and I had every opportunity to just be responsible, but I just kind of like took my freedom at that point and did whatever I wanted to do. But I need to realize that sometimes that's just not a good thing, you know, because if I do, the chances of getting hurt are a lot higher. Being a woman isn't really freedom, in my opinion. That's right. I was talking to some trans women, Tiffany and Paula, downstairs when I got in, and I told them about the story. And I remember that, in my prior life, I could wander the streets practically naked. Nobody would care. You know what I mean? It's like nobody cares about guys walking down the street. But a woman walking down the street at night, or a person that resembles a woman, you know, it's more of a compromising position to be. Being that women are the weaker sex, they're more vulnerable. You know, they're more likely to be attacked if they're walking down the street by themselves. So you don't want to put yourself in the compromising positions. And trans women, ni se diga. Ni se diga means don't even mention it. Trans women are at an even greater risk from attack by people that hate. You know, I mean, women already have the, odds stacked against them, but trans women, it's like you get an angry guy, sees a 5'10", feminine looking person, and then says, "Oh, that's a trans person. Let's give them a hard time." It happens. So it's like a double whammy. We get it from the side of like being seen as women, some of us, and then others, or as well, we get it as trans. So it's like, can't win for losing, right? People that say, transition, people are, who transition, they're just selfish, and it's like, you know, I don't think it's that we're selfish. So what's your plans now? Work, movie, etc.? Well, Paula has this room for me, and I can help her, but I can't really make this room my own, so I can't really stay here for an extended period of time. But I'm looking at places to possibly move to, areas in the Twin Cities that I can possibly go and live, that are, pay a rent, and live, you know. So here in the Twin Cities, um, it's very LGBT friendly. So There's lots of acceptance in this area, um, compared to like say Tennessee or something, right? But are you hoping to reconnect with your children? Oh, well, definitely. I don't know if you realized it or watched anything from my channel, Megsy, but I was able to reconnect with my son on the way here, on the way to Minneapolis from El Paso. And yeah, so he's kind of like a gateway child. So if he can, he saw me and we hung out, and it was like we had dinner together, went to Chipotle. Um, I bought his meal and we had coffee together, and we hugged and laughed, and I'm sure we cried. Been watching since 2013. Wow, that's great. Thank you so much for watching. I mean, I took a hiatus pretty much 2015 to now, but thank you for watching. Are you trans too? I was just waiting for her response. Or, or are you a genetic female? Carrots are great. You know, I don't know what it is. People talk about, oh, carrot, raw carrot. Oh, you're a vegan. That's gross. It's like, no, but a keen activist, born cis female. LOL. I'm good. Well, thank you for supporting us. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for saying what I did when I did, but given the circumstances of, you know, the position that I was in, I don't even know what was up and what was down on planet New Mexico. Because I just pretty much just kind of like just lost myself. It was like another world, and not something that I was like wanting to like. Oh, would you say? I'm sorry, I missed it. Ah, where is that? Where are your comments? I was looking for them, and I'm still pushing this button. Oh well, I couldn't see it, but if I see it initially, I can comment on it. But yeah. Oh, did this go away? Oh, okay, here we go. I totally understand. Oh, I totally understand. Yeah, yeah, it's great to see you looking so chilled out. There's a big difference. Yeah, I mean, I just felt so stressed out, because um, Mark is a transition trans man, but he could go on in life as a regular dude. You know, Me on the other hand, I'm a trans woman, and I'm tall. Um, I was still early in my transition. I didn't get done anything that I wanted to get done yet. Um, I don't know if that is going to make a big difference for me or not, but I wanted to do certain things. Like my first year in, I got a tracheal shave. Um, you know, and then I wanted to get breast, so I had like breast augmentation appointment, consultation the same time that I had my tracheal shave and stuff. And they measured me and whatnot, and they said that I was just going to need like a one stage procedure, because they do a different type of procedure, but they said that I had enough of a cavity for them not to have to break or do something, put a balloon in there or something before they could do it. I'm not sure what it was, but it would cost like 7 grand. No, that was with the tracheal shave, but God only knows now how much it costs for that kind of thing. But yeah, I've always had this phobia of not being able to have breasts. You know, it's really just kind of like it. It kind of bums me out, honestly, um, and it makes me feel bad. But I do understand that. You know, I work out a lot. I train hard, and I try to, you know, take care of my body. So a lot of times, what happens is you end up losing the ability to get fat tissue develop on your upper body. I mean, even genetic females, trying to clean up this knife, even genetic females, you know, go through like losing breast tissue and stuff like that. Mark said that when he was, you know, not transitioning, but working out as a female and was taking testosterone, the breasts actually shrunk, and then all he had were like these little flabby little pieces of flesh, you know, that the doctor then just cut, you know, and you know, it, when he transitioned and had his what is it called, a breast I'm not really good with medical terms, but that breast reduction or whatever, mastectomy, that's it, mastectomy. So he basically, he was like, you know, two little pieces of skin, you know, and that was it. But I just wanted to have, like, I was looking for C cup, you know. I just wanted something that was like appropriate for the type of body that I had, you know. And you know, my body's changed in the last years, um, and pretty much due to the fact that Mark trained me like a horse, and I ate only between the hours of noon and 8. And now my schedule is a bit different because I've always been kind of a night owl. So I stay up late and I look at the internet and stuff and watch videos and binge watch Netflix and got very skinny. Yeah, I did. I did, and I am. You know, I mean, do I look okay or am I too skinny? Because I can't really tell. Because I don't want to go anorexic or anything, but the truth the truth is that I used to weigh back in the day. I think it was 2000. You beautiful woman always. Thank you. Thank you guys. You guys, I need you more than ever. You know, you're like my family now because I had Mark and then I was wondering the day would come when I would lose him. I just knew it was going to happen. It's like in the back of my head, I just like, it's going to happen. You know, maybe I kind of created it, you know, but I just kind of, you know, it was like a universal understanding. At first, I thought maybe it was just temporarily while I was recovering, but then we both decided to get married. And I think that was a huge mistake because that ended up really, really hurting my kids. And trans women with children, if they don't have those children in their lives, they like suffer. I suffered every day. Mark would say, you don't get married to something just after meeting them. and breaking your neck. It doesn't work. I know, right? But I did. I mean, you gotta understand the situation. I felt like this person, Mark, was the most selfless person on the planet because he helped me when even my own mother wouldn't even want to help me out. You know, my sister was like making a phone call and stuff, and then she heard that Mark was there or something. She never called again. Never called again. And so I was like, I was like super excited that and grateful to God that there was somebody out there that cared for me and loved me. And I was I was pretty bad off, you know. I was pretty bad off. And Mark came in and touched my life, touched my heart, and we fell in love. We did. And you know, we just those first few days, it was like we were laughing. We were like little kids, you know. We were just having a fun time with everything that was going on and everything that happened. It was like a blur. That sucks. My parents rejected me too. I had to grab any guy I could get. People, vegan eat. People are places in your life for a reason, season or lifetime. Not every person meant to be the lifetime. Mark was time for a reason. Yeah, I really do believe that that's the case with Mark because Mark needs somebody who can focus on loving him for who he is, and he is a whole lot of man. I mean, let me tell you, he's a whole lot of goodness. You know, I mean, if you don't have a problem with strong alpha male types, which I have always had a problem with, I don't know. I just never really cared for it. Big alphas. Um, you know, I was with Tony. Tony wasn't a big alpha. I was with James. James wasn't a big alpha either. I mean, these people were just easygoing guys, you know. And personally, I was never an alpha with regards to, you know, as a person. I was never an alpha. And I didn't like being around it. You know, I didn't like that energy. Well, Mark personified that energy whenever he was really in his male essence. That's what I mean. You just watch his videos now. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, and he's like, you know, and it's like he's on T now. So now all those expressions and things are even like more pronounced, you know. And it's not that he's being fake. It's just, you know, he embodies that male masculine thing going on, you know. And yet, on the other side, I could see a very sensitive, compassionate, empathetic, and nurturing um, heart of a woman there, too. So I think for us, it was just like confusing, you know, because here we are being who we are, and then we're presented with that other thing that the person was. And it's just like, where do you stand now? You know, because I don't know. I don't know. And I wish him all the best. I really do. We got in a terrible argument yesterday, and things were said, and he put a video up on YouTube that I swore I wasn't going to look at because, and I haven't. I haven't. But it was one of those things where we're both very defensive when it comes to like being attacked and stuff, and he felt attacked, and I felt attacked. And we hurt each other pretty badly. Yesterday, I just, you know, I told him, I just blocked him. His family's never cared for me, you know, um, and that hurts, you know, because I'm like a person who wants to be loved, you know, and I accept everybody. Um, but it was really hard to hear that. He said, "My mom never liked you. She saw right through you. Um, she calls you lazy and she doesn't like you. And I was like, wow, okay. You know, his sister, she's lesbian, and I said stuff that I probably shouldn't have said before, back in 2016, and kind of like really ticked her off when I was in my Christian rampage. And I don't think she's ever really forgiven me, you know, but to each their own. Um, I was never meant to be a part of that family anyway. So it's okay. It's okay. It's not like it's the end of the world. I mean, I'm not like totally shocked and confused about it because Mark and his family, it's like a different dimensional existence of being with them. And the running joke, and this is funny because it's kind of like the running joke, Puerto Ricans don't like Cubans. Honestly, they don't usually get along for whatever reason. We're like cousins because we have, they have the big island, but there's so much pride, between, Cubans and Puerto Ricans that, you know, I mean, that's the same thing going on with Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. I mean, my dad he was like racist towards Mexicans. He's like, yeah, those people, it's like, those people are Latin, just like you. They speak Spanish. Yeah, but they eat salsa and they eat beans for breakfast. That's so gross. I'm like, um, I was born in California, so I'm part Mexican, although my parents are both Puerto Rican. It's funny. People say, "Oh, you're so tan," and I'm like, "I'm I'm not tan. I'm Puerto Rican or puertorriqueña. Soy de la isla Boricua." A la Jennifer Lopez and others, Ricky Martin, Luis Fonsi. There's lots of Puerto Rican pride, but that's the thing. There's a ton of Cuban pride, and Cubans think that they are like God's gift to Latin America. Yeah, Ricky Martin. Yeah, he still looks good, right? He still looks yummy. When he came out as gay, he was like very brave to do so, but it's like he didn't even lose anything. People just go, "Oh, okay." He's very manly though, and beautiful to look at, right? Let's not go off on Ricky Martin. He does a song called, oh, what is it called? I'm trying to remember. Vente pa' acá, vente pa' acá, vente pa' acá. Yeah, that one. Just gorgeous in every way. That guy is a Greek god. Beautiful man. Um, does he have a flaw? I don't think so. But the light-skinned Latinos get preferential treatment, just for being like light-skinned, and darker skinned people, the darker you are, the lower on the totem pole you get. So I've always dealt with feeling that I'm not, as up on the social classes or something, even within the Spanish community. Because, if you watch like Telemundo or Univision, they have these people that, the newscasters and stuff, and they're typically like blonde hair, blue eyed, light skinned. And I grew up in a home. I know a guy who's Portuguese and African mix, and he is very beautiful too, so sensuous. Yeah, there's also African Americans. I mean African descent in Puerto Rico too. Um, but it's like they're given like preferential treatment. So even within my own family, same in the black community, the lighter ones are treated with the utmost respect. I mean, look who we had as president for 8 years, Barack Obama. I mean, it's not like we had a real black guy. We had a guy who was half black and half white, and a lighter skinned black, person. And I just, it's there. There's definitely, um, a pecking order when it comes to color of skin and that kind of thing. Because I know for me, I remember getting a full time job at the TV station in California, the Christian network that I worked at, and black Aboriginal people the same. They're nearly bl- blue, blue. Is that right? Blue. So basically, I was like given this job, and then I remember this guy that was also applying for the job. We ended up being friends. His name was Jeff Hockman, and Jeff got hired as a part timer. I got hired as a full timer. Bew Black. Bew. And I got hired, and basically, um, I I was talking to him, and Jeff knew a lot. He knew more than I did. He went to Liberty University and worked with Jerry Falwell, and he was part of the TV crew there and stuff. So he had a lot more experience. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you got hired only because of affirmative action. They needed to have a Latino in the business. In the job that look at who's the other full-time employee is a black guy. So they hired a Latino and a black guy, and you know that to make their quota look good, right? But it's like I thought I got hired based on my ability, but Jeff was better. He was more experienced, and he didn't get hired because he was a white guy. But you know, we live with these differences, and it is what it is. I don't, you know, underneath, we all have blood running through us. We all have the same eyeballs and feet and hands and teeth and nose and arm and wrist and neck, and we're all human. So that's the beauty, is that we're all human. We're not like one particular color, you know, is better than the other, because it's not. I grew up that way even in my household, because my dad was very much, anti-black, anti-Mexican, anti anything that was not Puerto Rican was anti, you know. But women have a lot in common with colored people. We are all second class. I am so sorry to hear that. I know that women have been, gosh, I don't even have the words. I am so sorry. I know that for me, when I was living my life in the other, I was definitely never like misogynistic, or I was never the kind of person who preyed on anything. It's like I've always had total respect. I was raised with respect, and although my dad was a kind of a womanizer type person, I was never that way. I don't know. I just I had a heart for for the female condition, and I still do. And as a trans woman, I would want to just ally myself with trans women. I mean, with regular women. Wow, I never expected you to react like that. Thank you. You made me cry. honestly, Rubinsky, that's how I feel. I mean, my heart breaks for you guys. You know, I mean, when you can't just walk down the street without being, catcalled and ridiculed, or, you know, put on display, and people looking down instead of looking at your eyes. I mean, it's like, what kind of world is that? When you can't just be, right? And people can't just respect you, or you get paid less. What's with that? Getting paid less just because you have a vagina. That's stupid. Because most women I know have a amazing sense of multitask. They can, they're more in tune with the planet because of that menstrual cycle and the lunar cycle and the earth, that I feel that a woman is the more evolved species of human being. I think men are like disconnected from that eternal source of knowing, you know, and guys for the rest of their lives, they have to be led, and led by a woman, because left alone, a guy doesn't know his right hand from his left hand. Or, yeah, that worked out, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, you know, I really, my heart bleeds for you guys, you know, and I, as a trans woman, just would never want to take your place. I would never want to take your role. I mean, as a feminine being, I just want to partner with you and to help bring this whole thing of, you know, class and gender discrimination just off the table finally, and put an end to it, because women can easily be CEOs of companies, easily. um, Moms have eyes in the back of their, thank you so much, you're a treasure, thank you. I'm just speaking the truth. This is just how I feel. I remember working in TV, and it's a very male driven, masculine driven profession, sports television. And personally, I like doing music videos and award shows, fashion shows. I mean, that was more exciting to me. But sports was more common. There was a baseball season, 100 and, you know, 62 games a year, 90 games are at home, and the rest are away. But, basketball season, hockey season, so you got all these multiple games going on. So I had to learn TV, sports television. And working in sports television, I mean, it's ridiculous. They're always, like, I, you go to a basketball game, halftime show. You have the Spirit Girls that go out there in the dance team, and they're all in their skimpy outfits and stuff, and they're being paraded around as some kind of object object of desire and stuff like that. And um, or you have football games where the cheerleaders are all being, they wear sketchy clothes, and you know all sensual and all that, and they're shaking their booty and whatnot. um, but it's like it's like women are put on parade. It's like the female body is a beautiful thing, no doubt. Beauty, I believe the ultimate form of human beauty is that of the female body. And I think that probably that is because from the woman is life generated. I mean, man can create life, but the woman brings life to the planet, and is the gateway for being able to create life. And with that comes this innate sense and ability to um, of knowing. It's like an eternal knowing. Like, they would always say moms have eyes in the back of their head. They never said dads don't know, like, their right friend from their left, or I mean, got good sense of direction, but common sense is lacking a lot of times in men. They need their wives to help them. I remember uh, Italian women would say, he may be the head, but I'm the neck that turns the head. So it's like, what's the purpose of being the head if you're being turned by, you know, the neck, right? But, it was just so misogynistic. They they basically, like, I mean, there's if at any game that you would go to, you'll see kiss cam and all that, and it's cute and everything. But what you don't see behind the scenes is that these men, mostly, they have 100-to-1 lenses. Yes, I had a long time Italian partner. He was crazy. Yeah, oh, yeah, Italian people, oof. Italian, Irish, whatever. But it's like an 100-to-1 magnification. And then they could go into something called extender. So that makes it 200-to-1. So that means they can zoom in on a nipple if they wanted to. And they do. They do. Like at sporting events. Always, always zooming in on the big breasted, blonde or something. And the guys were all like, hey, check out section 200, aisle 4. It's like, oh yeah, kudos goes to camera 4 for finding that. And I'm going to put it, the director be like, I'm going to put it on preview, you guys, so you can check it out, see what camera 4 found. It's like, why? And they're like, Lopez. Oh, Lopez doesn't do that. Lopez shoots the cute little kids with the popcorn and the candy cane and the candy, what is it? The candy, what is it? What's that? What, that pink, the pink fluffy cotton candy. That's it. Um, I'm shooting like kids, eating cotton candy and getting stuck on their fingers, and like little 1 year olds are just so cute. I mean, it's just a cute thing. And families and dads and little girls, standing on their dad's shoulder and just enjoying, being able to fairy floss in Australia. Fairy floss? What's that? But, it's like that for me was fun, to get the families involved, like um, one of the cool things was like at a hockey game before the game starts, they're always like practicing, and then they rub up against the plexiglass, and the little girl has a sign holding it for the favorite player and stuff, and the player looks at the little girl, and then he like throws the hockey puck up there and gives it to her, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's like super cute. But I mean, those are the cool things. It's not zooming in on a boob. I mean, seriously. Oh, fairy floss is cotton candy. Okay.